Hey guys, thanks for joining me for another Dissidia Final Fantasy Opera Omnia video, and today we are going to showcase the Ultimecia loop with Quina in the party. I do recommend if you do this, you bring an off-turn character, so I have Kane. I think Kane's a very good example. So we're just going to hop in with Quina, and we're going to get that really godly burst effect up right away. We don't really worry about force time, because as you're doing this like exploit, essentially, you could set up a force first, that's totally fine, but you're going to burn through it, so it's not really a huge deal. This is going to be a long grind either way. I do not go all the way through the fight with this, by the way. You'll notice the video time isn't like crazy long here. I basically just show you how to set it up and get it to the point where we're infinitely going, right? Now, if you do actually want to use this, I do recommend you set it up for auto plus or for autoing. So what you'll want to do is if you're going to auto this, you essentially only want Ultimecia to have her EX and her 35 equipped. That's pretty much all you're going to need. So, and then what'll happen is auto plus, it'll automatically use the EX when it's available, and then otherwise it'll have no choice but to hit the 35. The 35 is just going to be the AoE attack. So the way this exploit works is that Ultimecia is going to do really good damage because Quina's BT effect is up, right? And then the way Ultimecia works is you pop her EX, and then you get like a couple of free turns, and then when that buff runs out, you would hit the EX again, and it will give you more free turns. You can go again. Now, normally you can't just loop it over and over and over again. But what we do is we do put on a selfie call. And we have Quina hold the selfie call. Like have a character other than Ultimecia hold the call. Because what'll happen is those other characters will be sitting on the side. Those buffs will never wear out. And what selfie has is when selfie's call is entered, it does a party buff that gives you 20% EX regen. So your EX will recharge 20% faster. And what happens is with that recharge buff, Ultimecia will have her EX up again by the time her first passive runs out. So she's basically going to go EX, take free turns, loop into EX, free turns again into EX, and it's literally infinite at that point. So the reason why you want to set this up for auto, it can be kind of boring sitting there pressing the buttons for like an hour, because it will take a long time. Even though Ultimecia is doing capped HP damage, these fights, and this is a more modern fight, right? This is like the newest Shinryu. These fights are built to have not only just force now, but force echo. So they're intended for you to have really high HP percentages, doing 10, 20, 30 million damage in a shot and not killing the bosses. So doing regular damage, even if it's capped damage, it's still going to take you a really long time. So if you do intend to do this, I would set it up for auto. Now, do I recommend players do this? Probably not. To me, this is very similar to Edaroth, where, like, sure, I'm a player that likes making the game easy, right? But I don't want to do it to the point where the game's not fun. And if I'm just running it on auto mode and just watching it go, I'm not really even playing the game at that point, and it's not fun. So I would say, if you want to try this for fun, just to see if you can do it, or if you're, like, super struggling with a stage and you need your out to it, sure, you could use it as your out to it, provided you have the proper setup for it, right? So here we go. We're just going to pop the LD here. I don't know if we go into the loop quite yet. I'm trying to remember if I had to do more setup. No, I think we're looping at this point because I'm pretty sure... Actually, did I? I may have forgot to put on the call with Quina, so I might give Quina a turn after this. We'll double check. Well, we'll know right away because if the EX is up or not, right? All right, nope, Ultimecia's EX is up, so I think we did have it properly set up. I was kind of talking through my setup there. But yeah, there it is, EX Apocalypse. Apocalypse gives Ultimecia free attacks, and it'll basically loop like this forever. And Kane is dropping spheres, doing really good damage because we're getting cap damage and everything. Hell's Judgment because it's just AoE, that's the 35. Kane dropping. So you can see, like, even though we're doing cap damage, it's still not, like, insane damage. Ultimecia is doing what? Yeah, like 460k. Comboed with Kane, doing like another 300s. So we're doing like what? Roughly 800k every attack. But once again, it's loopable and it's free. So here comes EX again. And it just goes on like this, right? Now, the one thing you have to watch out for is many bosses will have force effects, right? So when these bosses, you see they hit their force, we actually got attacked. And Ultimecia actually got broken. So what you have to be careful of, it's a good idea to have like a Raijin or a Rydia call that you can throw down. I neglected to do that, which is fine. It's just showing you like what can happen, but we still get through just fine. So what I decided to do here is we just drop an attack with Quina here. So we just do Mustard Bomb, sure, throw the traps on, doesn't really matter. But then we're right back into Ultimecia, and at this point, we go completely uninterrupted, because now the enemies have no force gauge to build. Once again, if enemies have threshold attacks, you have to be careful because you could get interrupted from there. So once again, I think having a good Raijin or Rydia call, something like that, because if you say have Raijin call on and Raijin call works on them, we are finding enemies that do bypass the Raijin call. But provided Raijin call works, when enemies do threshold attacks or interrupt attacks, it doesn't actually decrease their debuffs. So provided Ultimecia is going forever, like that debuff will never run out, and you'll have that Raijin call the whole time, and you'll be able to deal with it. The one fluke that can happen is, like you saw, if we accidentally get broken or something, then it can be a little bit troublesome. But a really good character you can run with Ultimecia, you could do something like Core, because Core can put Oath of Absolute Defense, which allows Ultimecia not to get broken. I do want to showcase Core, but we're so close to his BTFR, I'll probably wait until his BT drops to showcase him some more. But I think Core is absolutely one of the best characters you can pair in a Quina team, because the one weakness Quina BT has is that if you're broken, it doesn't work. Well, Core will link up with characters and allow them not to be broken. And with his BT effect, you can make it so every character is linked and cannot be broken. Then you're literally invincible at that point, right? And Core's doing off turn, which is really good. So anyways, guys, there you go. It's just going to keep looping, right? So I don't remember. I stop at some point. But basically, I mean, I can look at the video length. Yeah, it's going to go for like 40 more seconds. But yeah, it just keeps going forever and ever and ever. And because we're doing the cap damage, like Ultimecia is always going to be putting up good numbers, and you just do this forever. So anyways, guys, let me know what you think of this exploit. Let me know what you think of Quina. Thanks for watching. We'll catch y'all on the next one.